Will Rodman, a scientist from San Francisco, has spent 5 years developing ALZ-112, a genetically engineered retrovirus that might cure Alzheimer's disease. This virus not only repairs brain cells, but also enhances them, granting chimpanzees human-like intelligence. One of his test subjects, Bright Eyes, a female chimpanzee recently captured in Africa, unexpectedly goes on a rampage for 2 months into her trial. Security personnel are forced to kill her in front of board members, jeopardizing the future of ALZ-112. However, it is later discovered that her aggression stemmed not from the drug, but from her maternal instinct to protect her secretly born baby. Will's ambitious boss, Stephen Jacobs, orders the euthanization of all 12 test chimpanzees after the incident. However, Robert Franklin, the chimp handler assigned to this task, spares the baby chimpanzee and gives him to Will, who names him Caesar and raises him at home. Caesar, having inherited his mother's enhanced intelligence from the drug, learns rapidly. With the help of Will and veterinarian Caroline Aranja, he learns sign language. After 3 years, Will administers ALZ-112 to his father, Charles, who suffers from Alzheimer's. Initially, Charles shows improvement, but 5 years later, his immune system develops antibodies against the virus, causing his dementia to return. In his confused state, Charles accidentally starts a neighbor's car and causes a minor accident. The neighbor, Hunsaker, reacts aggressively, prompting Caesar to jump out of a window and bite Hunsaker's finger off in defense of Charles. As a result, Caesar is taken to the San Bruno Primate Shelter, managed by John Landon, where apes are kept in cages but have access to a jungle-themed play area. At the shelter, Landon's son, Dodge, cruelly mistreats the apes. Initially, Caesar is poorly treated by both the staff and the other apes. In the exercise area, he is beaten by the dominant chimp, Rocket. However, Caesar befriends Maurice, a former circus orangutan who knows sign language. Later, Dodge and his friends taunt the apes and one of them gets too close to Caesar's cage. Caesar seizes the opportunity to steal a pocket knife. Using the knife tied to a stick, he frees himself and Buck, a large and aggressive gorilla, gaining Buck's respect. Caesar then lures Rocket into the exercise area and, after hitting him with a metal gasoline canister, establishes his dominance without causing further harm. This act earns him the respect and companionship of the other apes in the facility, including Rocket. Meanwhile, Will develops a more potent virus called ALZ-113 to further treat his father, and new tests commence on 10 chimps, with additional ones later taken from the San Bruno facility. This virus enhances the ape's intelligence but is deadly to humans. Franklin is exposed to ALZ-113, begins sneezing blood, and is later found dead in his apartment, his face covered in blood. Realizing the virus's lethality, Will tries to warn Jacobs, who insists on continuing the tests, especially on an ape named Koba, who has a scar over his blind eye. Frustrated by Jacobs' decisions, Will quits his job at Genesis Laboratories. Caesar eventually escapes from the primate facility and goes to Will's house, where he steals canisters of an airborne strain of ALZ-113. He returns to the facility, releasing the virus throughout the cage area, enhancing the intelligence of himself and the other apes. The following evening, Caesar confronts his sadistic caretaker, Dodge, who tries to attack him. Caesar demonstrates his ability to speak by shouting no at Dodge and kills him by spraying him with a hose while Dodge's electric cattle prod is turned on, electrocuting him. The apes beat the remaining night watchman, Rodney, but Caesar stops them, locking Rodney in a cage instead. The apes escape into the city by climbing out of the windows above the play area. Caesar then heads to the Genesis lab, freeing apes there and at the San Francisco Zoo, leading hundreds of apes through the streets of San Francisco. The apes face a police blockade at the Golden Gate Bridge. Caesar launches a 3-pronged attack. Orangutans and chimps led by Maurice attack from below, chimps guided by Koba attack from above, and Caesar, Buck, and Rocket lead the frontal assault. They defeat the police. But Jacobs arrives in a helicopter and Police Chief John Hamill begins shooting the apes. Buck sacrifices himself to take down the helicopter, which crashes on the bridge, killing everyone except Jacobs. Koba pushes Jacobs and the helicopter into the bay. The surviving apes escape to the redwood forest of Mirror Woods Park. Will arrives at the forest and is attacked by Koba, but Caesar stops Koba before he can harm Will. Will warns Caesar about the strength of humans and suggests he return home for safety. Caesar, now capable of basic human speech, tells Will, Caesar is home, indicating the forest. The final scene shows apes atop the redwood trees overlooking the San Francisco Bay. A mid-credit scene reveals that Hunsaker, infected by the now-deceased Franklin, is a pilot. As he walks into the airport, a timetable zooms in on a flight to New York, with graphics showing air routes connecting to Paris and other cities, implying the spread of a global pandemic. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Rupert Wyatt, reboots the classic franchise with a gripping narrative that combines scientific ambition, ethical dilemmas, and a stirring examination of intelligence and freedom. The film reimagines the origins of the apes' rise to power, setting the stage for a compelling saga. Caesar, the film's central ape character, brilliantly portrayed through Andy Serkis's motion capture performance, is the heart of the story. Caesar's journey from a lab animal to a revolutionary leader is both touching and powerful, reflecting themes of oppression, freedom, and the quest for identity. The film skillfully portrays Caesar's growth, his struggle for freedom, and his ultimate realization of his kind's potential, making his character arc deeply resonant. James Franco delivers a solid performance as Will Rodman, a scientist torn between his professional ambitions and personal attachments. However, it is Andy Serkis's portrayal of Caesar that truly stands out. Serkis, a pioneer in motion capture acting, brings a depth of emotion and realism to Caesar that is both mesmerizing and transformative. His performance captures the nuanced evolution of Caesar's character, from innocence to wisdom, and ultimately to leadership. The supporting cast, including Frida Pinto as veterinarian Caroline Aranja and John Lithgow as Will's Alzheimer's afflicted father, adds emotional depth to the story. Tom Felton's role as the cruel caretaker Dodge Landon is memorable, providing a stark contrast to Caesar's compassionate nature. The film's visual effects are groundbreaking, particularly in the realistic rendering of the apes. The seamless integration of CGI with live-action footage creates a believable and immersive world. The motion capture technology, combined with Serkis's performance, brings a level of authenticity to the apes that enhances the emotional impact of the story. Rupert Wyatt's direction is both precise and visionary. His balance of the film's action sequences with quieter, character-driven moments, allowing the narrative to unfold organically. The pacing is well managed, building tension and anticipation as the apes' rebellion progresses. Rise of the Planet of the Apes offers a compelling social commentary on the ethics of scientific experimentation, the treatment of animals, and the unintended consequences of human arrogance. The film's exploration of intelligence and freedom resonates deeply, highlighting the moral responsibilities that come with scientific advancement. The climactic battle on the Golden Gate Bridge is not just a spectacle of action, but also a symbolic struggle for liberation. The film's conclusion, with the apes finding refuge in the Redwood Forest, sets the stage for further exploration of their journey and the impending clash with humanity. Rise of the Planet of the Apes successfully renews the franchise, combining cutting-edge visual effects with a thoughtful and emotionally engaging narrative. The film's exploration of complex themes, anchored by Andy Serkis's outstanding performance, makes it a standout in the realm of science fiction cinema. It not only entertains, but also provokes reflection on the ethical dimensions of scientific progress and the enduring quest for freedom and identity. Thank you very much for watching the whole video. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.